All right. Now we have established a connection with the EPA Administrator Lee Zeldin. Welcome back to the show, sir. It's great to see you. I understand you're traveling in Japan for a very important council, but how are you, and how worried are you right now about the oil situation?
Well, it's great to be with you. Yes, we're here in Tokyo, Japan. It's a White House National Energy Dominance Council event. Secretary Burgum will be here, leadership from the Department of Energy as well. We'll be meeting not just with Japan, but many of these Asian countries that share the United States' concern over critical minerals, the supply chain, reducing our reliance on China, and other dynamics of what we're seeing around the world. And to answer the other part of your question, this is an important issue for Americans. It's an important issue for the world to have stability as much as possible, though President Trump's bold leadership with this team is looking to bring a decisive end to this conflict as quickly as possible. And I have the utmost faith in the president and his national security team.
Yeah, I think they can bring it in for a landing soon. In the meantime, I guess take a look at these prices. You're the expert, not me. Crude oil, 102 per barrel, 360 per gallon. But I do hear people panicking. They're talking about oil reaching $200 per barrel. I even saw one guy, granted he is known to be hysterical, talking about $300 per barrel. You know, are there contingency plans? And I know they consult with you, National Security Council, in the run-up to the war on something like this. You guys anticipated some of this, I'm sure?
Well, President Trump's doing a number of very important things. The strategic release from our strategic petroleum oil reserve is a key part of that. We are not the only nation that is doing a release. It totals about 400 million barrels of oil across all of the countries. That is significant. The Department of War's activities inside of the Strait to help ensure safe passage, the offensive actions that are taken very proactively and purposefully, and more. They all add up to a stabilizing effect on this dynamic of the conflict. And the president is doing an exceptional job leading this effort to achieve our strategic objectives in Iran. And the sooner that we're able to put in the rearview mirror, the better. But along the way, this team has been focused on a very important dynamic with regards to access to oil, and it shouldn't be lost. As a matter of fact, it should be a reminder that here in the United States, we have a lot of resources, from oil to natural gas and so much more, rare earth, critical minerals. We have so many resources inside of the United States. We shouldn't have to be relying as much on these foreign sources. And I think this has served an important reminder of that.
When you go into that meeting, and it's pretty cool, the National Energy Dominance Council hosting its inaugural Indo-Pacific Energy Security Ministerial and Business Forum in Tokyo. Everyone's going to be talking about the war. What is your number one challenge going into that meeting?
Well, there's going to be a lot about reducing our reliance on China, for one. The United States and Japan entered into a very key strategic negotiation that was successful in ensuring not just the initial start of the process of bringing these critical minerals and rare earths out of the ground, but also the total process from start to finish, end to end. The processing of these materials are important as well. We can extract more inside of the United States of our own resources, but if we are still forced to send it overseas to a place like China, we obviously still have more work to do. Japan also shares these concerns as well for themselves as a nation. So partnering between our countries, as well as these other Asian countries that also share these similar concerns with China, there's no better time than right now for us to be coming together. The president created the National Energy Dominance Council. This was new when he came into office. He brought together these different agencies to work together on overlapping equities, as opposed to what we saw in the past, where each agency was kind of siloed off into their own world, not talking enough together, not working enough together. The president brings us together, and it's not just a whole of government approach for the Trump administration, but here very actively engaging a number of the other nations that share our same goals and figuring out how to reach deals between us to reduce that reliance on countries like China.
Well, Lee Zeldin, the EPA administrator in Japan. Safe travels, sir. Say hi to everybody, and thank you very much for being with us.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.